Yo, listen up, it's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. Hard way wrestling coming at you raw, bringing the heat, breaking every law. They drop the truth, no holds barred, talking smack, getting you hyped up hard, calling out the fakes, exposing the lies. Hard way wrestling taken by surprise. Hard way wrestling coming to your city. Nothing but realness, nothing but grit. Going down a gauntlet, making them mark. Hard way wrestling straight from the heart.
I wish I'd have got that earlier because I'd have put that up. Welcome to Hard Way Wrestling. We are live. We are live. It's welcome Ricky, Scotty, and T-Bone Zena. T-Bone Zena. Oh my God. Where did you get that from? How did you see that?
I just going through Instagram and it just popped up. I was like, that's perfect for Jeremy. He said that.
That's funny shit.
He said that so many times. He said John Cena, and it's like, I was like, okay, perfect. We found it. We found the perfect meme for Jeremy.
I think his he said I need I can't, I got new teeth. Fuck you. Oh shit. What's going on, boys? Happy Friday.
Yes, sir.
Happy Friday, everybody.
How's everybody doing? Ricky, you look almost awake. Boys. You look almost awake.
Almost. Not quite.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Ricky's actually bright today. We can actually see his face. What the heck?
The sun is up a little longer now.
Again, still, he's got the hood on. He looks like a Sith Lord. I don't know why he continues to wear the hood. Let these people see that chrome dome of yours, man. Let them see it. When's the last time you shaved your head?
Last night.
Oh, okay. Well, why cannot we? Let's see it. Come on, show us the head. Show us your head. Show us your head.
Your head. Show us your head.
Whoa. There went our PG rating. The PG rating is out the door. Look at that. Look at
there. It
is.
Is.
The pin on that head.
It's cold in here.
You know, that reminds me. I got to get over to my map and mark where I've been in the world. Put a pin in it. Jesus. Yeah, Christina Piven's in the house. She says, show us. Show us.
I'll show you my pussy.
Yeah, there you go. You've seen your crotch and your pussy in one video. I mean, a lot of people pay good money for that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
that's Patreon money.
That's Patreon money. All right, welcome to Hard Way Wrestling. If you're just coming in to YouTube or Facebook, actually, if you're on Facebook, swing over to YouTube right now. You don't have to stay on YouTube. Just go hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe. It helps us out. If you're catching this on TikTok or Instagram, actually not Instagram right now because I fucked it up for another 35 days or 30 days or whatever it is. You can't put pornography on Instagram. Can you believe that? I'm surprised. So anyway, if you're catching us, thank you for joining us. New to the channel, we picked up some new people this week. I did a card break. Not really a card break, just kind of an unopening of some cards. Got two. Did you guys catch that? I got two autographs. I got a Dakota Kai auto and a X-Pac.
Nice.
Right? And as soon as X-Pac ODs.
Oh, come on.
What?
Come on.
That's messed up, man.
As soon as Dakota Kai ODs, then the card will go up.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, it's
She'll be concussed.
Yeah, she'll be. Yeah, she's yeah. If we can get her to wrestle for a month straight, we'd be good. So, all right. Well, let's get into. Let's go. What's up? Brian Artie's in the house. Brian was supposed to send me a video of the bumper because on Saturday, 10 a.m. is the third issue of USW Wrestling. Check that out on YouTube. I don't have anything to show you because Brian has failed his company. He doesn't care. The episode I was on, great numbers. The second episode, not so great because I wasn't on there. So we'll see how the third. Actually, I was on the second episode, so maybe I tanked the numbers. I don't know.
You tanked the numbers because you and your guys beat down Merrick Miami and Owen Maverick.
We first off, let's rewind a little bit. They had a match, Merrick and that idiot Owen Hardy. They had a match, right? And they fell down outside the ring. Now the match, Jeremy, you're a referee. You know, matches are inside the ring, correct?
Yes, sir.
These two young lads, thank you, fuck Owen Maverick. These two young lads decided halfway through the match, and the match was what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes? He's not kidding. We're not kidding, Austin. Fuck him. Halfway through the match, they decided to take a nap on the outside of the ring, which was very awkward because it's a low boy ring, and it was like they both rolled out of bed. So they're laying on the ground, and all Double A and I had to do, Adam Armstrong, for those who don't know who Double A is.
Kevin Bacon.
He's not Kevin Bacon. That's not
No,
Kevin Bacon.
No, he's now uncooked bacon.
He's not that either. Have you seen the physique on Double A?
Yeah, he looks like a piece of uncooked
He's
bacon.
a good-looking man. He's a good-looking man. A little in the belly area, but we're working on it. It's no big deal. It's not big deal. Anyway, so Double A and I, and if you don't know who Double A is and you don't know who I am the tannest Superman of champions ever, Jonathan Cross. Go check out USW Wrestling and you'll see. Go right now. That's going to be on a shirt. Better looking than Scotty. A lot. We won't even go there. There's a lot.
I got hair
better looking than Scotty.
I got hair. Okay, hair is better looking than what we got over here. I'm sorry.
You look like a mop. You look like a thick mop. And I'd love to turn you upside down and wipe the floor with you. But anyway, I'll turn him upside down. Can you imagine how that shuttlecock would be? How color that red would be on that head of his if we spun him upside down? I mean, his blood pressure is bad enough. Could we get all the cholesterol to run from his stagnant legs to his forehead? I don't know. Jesus Christ. So anyway, stop. I'm talking about the physique of Double A. So you want to go check out Double A at USW Wrestling. Check him out. He's a good-looking man. I think he's single. He's single, ladies and men. I don't know what he's into, but anyway. So go check that. So we actually came out to check on him because I felt concerned for the two young boys, and again, it was early in the morning, so kids sleep in. I wanted to make sure that they weren't tired, so we came out to check on them and let them know, we wanted to show them the title too. We wanted them to see the silver screen title, and they had their eyes closed and they didn't see it. But anyway, they decided to chase us to the back, which is it is what it is. Neither one of them could run. I mean, they look athletic, but they're really not. They're not athletic guys. They're not athletic like Austin Blackthorne and Huck Sawyer. They're not athletes like those guys. So they followed us to the back. Well, I own the back. The locker room is Jonathan Cross's domain. So maybe they didn't get the memo. Right? Brian Hardy, that moron Brian Hardy sends out 3,000 memos. I could see where you didn't read that one, right? Most likely didn't read that one. You got to weed through all the bullshit that he puts out there. Turn your camera sideways. It's always something. Anyway, they followed us back, and they just happened to walk past Austin Blackthorne and Huck Sawyer, the USW Tag Team Champs. Well, they thought we were in danger. Actually, we were good. We were going to handle those two idiots. First off, we were going to ground them because they're young boys, right? We're going to ground them. So anyway, they thought that we were in danger, and I really appreciate their help. They look out for us. They look out for everybody in the Cross family. So they decided that they were going to beat those two boys down, and they honestly deserved it. They honestly deserved it. You can't mess with me. You can't mess with Double A, and or you get the horns, the Austin Blackthorne horn and the Huck Sawyer horn. That's it. They got the horns. And then these two, moving forward, these two idiots kissing cousins. I don't even know. They make out with each other. I don't know what their tag team gimmick is. They wear green. I'm sure their underwear matches their outfits. But either way, they decide to get involved. And I mean, that story is not over there. Check out this week's episode. There's more to that story. You'll see this Saturday, 10 a.m. So check that out. So guys who were in the studio, the people that were in the studio did not get to see what happened in the back later on.
Oh,
You'll get to see all that stuff. So just play the trailer. Honestly, I can't play the trailer because I didn't get it in time to upload it. So Brian, maybe you do your job. Maybe we should put Kayla back in charge because she seems to know what she's doing. Happy birthday.
Oh.
Or happy 1 year anniversary knowing this guy. Anyway. Keep it up, Brian Hardy. I'm gonna snatch her right from you. I already got her brother. Her brother's a big fan of mine. So anyway. Moving forward, let's get into a little pizza cutter news. Sad news in the wrestling world today. Broke my heart. Carmella is gone from WWE. She wasn't released like the rest of these people, the people that really aren't worth anything. They just did not renew her contract. So, biggest Carmella fan. She not Carmella Hayes, not Carmella Anthony. Carmella, no longer with WWE. So she just had a baby back last year. She hasn't been on TV since 2023, I believe. So
That's how long you had her kept locked up in your basement.
Again, I did. I had her locked up in the basement. She chewed her way out. She chewed her way out of the bond. They said that after her pregnancy, she had a little bit of issue with a drop foot type of thing. It wasn't. It was her ankle. She didn't have a foot. She chewed her foot off. Yes, Carmella, hottest ever. She's right up there. Jeremy, you could put her on your list. So do we see Carmella ending up in another company? I mean, first off, let's rewind. Corey Graves has had issues here in the past couple weeks with not liking where they put him on commentary. They took him off the main show. They put him back on NXT. He had some words to say. They kept him off of the show to punish him. He's back. Do we eventually see him go away too?
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing for me. I've watched a couple of things that he's done. Some of the most recent NXT stuff. He really hasn't been contributing all that much. The two other guys, Booker, and then the other dude, I can't remember his name. Is it Vic Joseph? Maybe I can't remember.
Vic Joseph.
They've been doing the majority of the talking, and then Corey pipes in every now and then, but really hasn't been contributing all that much. So I kind of getting a feeling he's on his way out the door too. And if that's the case, maybe we see Corey in another company where he actually, because technically Corey's been cleared to wrestle again, correct? Like,
I think there was something about that at the end of last year, but they didn't really go into too many details.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe Corey and Carmella go into another company as like husband and wife. Maybe she'll start out managing him until whatever issues she has kind of goes away, and then she gets back in the ring herself. I can see it happening.
Austin says, "What is Mella Money doing in the Impact Zone?"
She's the dishwasher.
She's the dishwasher. So, again, she was a great champion. We first saw her. She came up from NXT. She was in NXT with Enzo and Cass. She came up. I think they took her away from Enzo and Cass.
They put her with our truth at one point too when they were doing that match challenge stuff.
She catapulted the career of James Ellsworth. Right? When she was the champion, right? Remember, James Ellsworth was hanging above in a shark cage. So again, just another one that falls by the wayside. Do we see her again? She's got a family to take care of right now. Maybe we see her again. We'll Sad day
think
for
we're likely to
my
see
favorite
Corey
women's
Graves
wrestler of all
somewhere
time.
else if he gets released.
Yeah, it's very possible. We don't know what's going to go on with Corey Graves. Corey Graves is a good commentator. I would almost say Corey Graves goes to NXT, not a wrestler though. Stay on commentary. Get rid of that masked idiot on Dynamite. Get rid of him because he's
Excalibur.
Excalibur. Get rid of Tony Schiavone. I'm done with Tony Schiavone too. I'm tired of his ass kissing ways at the commentary booth. Corey Graves is a great announcer. He was a decent wrestler. He's a great announcer. He'll land on his feet, regardless of wherever he wants to go.
I like him better than Michael Cole.
I like Michael Cole.
Not me. I've never been a fan of Michael Cole.
No. Yeah. So,
I think Michael Cole is a lot better now that Vince isn't yelling in his ear all the time.
I think a lot of people are much better that Vince isn't yelling in their ear, right, or shitting on their head or whatever he's into. So, WWE has come up with 2 new belts, boys. We need more belts. I tell you what, if I see one person's pants down around their ass cheeks in this company, I'm never watching it again. They have so many belts, they should never drop their pants. So, Triple H introduced the women's and men's ID championships. Did you guys see all these? See these?
Yes.
I missed that.
So,
picture of it.
So, they're nice belts. It says WWEID right in the middle. The women have the white strap. The men have the black strap. Why don't we make these even more special, right? They're gaudy. The front of them is kind of suspect. It says WWE and it says ID on them. So I don't know if that's going to get you through TSA, if that counts as an ID or not. But why not put a red strap on this? Did you see Moose? We'll get the Moose here in a minute because we're going to get to TNA or NXT. But did you see the red strap that Moose had? Like,
yes.
Give us the white strap instead of a white strap. Give us a green strap or a pink. I'd even take a pink strap. I think those AEW belts for the Owen Hart tournament. I think those belts are pretty fucking slick, right? They're nice looking belts. That's about the only nice thing over in AEW, but those belts are nice. So Scotty, you haven't seen these belts. T-Bone, you're a belt guy, right? Abdul, can he get these belts?
Oh yeah, he's already in the process of making them for fans.
Absolutely.
They're already being done.
What's he charge for belts?
If you're wanting like a 2 millimeter thick, it's $150. If you're wanting CNC engraving, I think it's like $80 more. And if you want it like 24 karat gold plated, it's more like it's an up, like it goes up from there. For a 4 millimeter thick belt, my Winged Eagle right there, I paid $350 for. The Mason Dixon one right here, I paid $700.
Damn!
Wow, that's a thick boy though.
Yeah, it's CNC engraved. It's 24 karat gold plated, and it's the exact measurements of the Mason Dixon title, other than it's a little bit bigger and it's a hell of a lot thicker.
I still want the OG big gold.
There you go.
You can get that. I mean, it's not hard to. These belt makers over these belt makers over there, they do an amazing job. They really do. I've seen a ton of these belts. I actually have an Intercontinental. I'm pretty sure the Intercontinental title I have is it might be a replica. I know it's a replica, but it's I think it might be from Pakistan. It could be. I don't know. I have to look at it. It's got the WWE stickers and stuff on it. So maybe it's not. I don't know, but they're nice belts. Yeah. A lot of your belts that come from for these organizations like ATCW or Voltage Wrestling, they all come from, Pakistan does most of their belts because honestly, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to buy them over there. So, but these aren't too bad of a belt. So the cool thing about these ID belts is they're going to be defended on the indies. So you got all these different guys from ID program. They're all over the place. We got some. There's one up in Cumberland here. They're all over the place. So it says the first WWEID champions will be determined in a tournament across top independent wrestling promotions.
Wow, I like this.
This is a good idea. Listen, the WWEID Championship will be defended on the Indies. Stay tuned to discount, blah, 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 whatever. So, anyway, how awesome would that be? First off, it is for companies, independent companies that have a couple of these ID wrestlers, right? They decided, the promoter says, hey, I'd like you to come down to ATCW or Voltage Wrestling or USW Wrestling or wherever. We'd like you to come down and defend that title. First off, it's going to be a big, I don't know how that works pay wise. If I'm an ID wrestler and I'm an ID champion and I have the WWE logo behind me, you're going to pay me, right? Because number one, that is going to bring fans in. Fans are going to come to see these ID titles and this new guy that's getting ready to go up.
Yeah.
Getting ready to go up to the main roster at some point, or maybe not, who knows? But anyway, so what happens during the match against the guy who isn't ID and an injury happens? I mean, it's still indie. It's still indie. I don't know how. I actually don't know how that works. Anybody who gets hurt in the WWE, I don't know. You can't sue. You're not going to sue the WWE. So I'm sure there is waivers and if Vince was still involved, there'd be all kinds of paperwork, right? You'd have to do,
it wouldn't be happening.
Well, yes, if Vince was around, we'd still be the Rock would have the title, or Brock would have the title. So anyway, I think you tell me, as Scotty, Ricky, as guys who go to independent wrestling, is it going to make you more excited about going to a match, or if you're on the fence about going to driving to West Virginia for whatever, or go to RSW or whatever, and they say you're on the fence about going there, and they say, hey, we're going to have the ID champ in the house. Are you going?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So this is huge. This is huge for some of these independent programs, smaller independent programs. Now, most likely, they're not going to show up at these really small independent companies. They're going to go to other independent companies that, first off, WWE is going to vet every company that deals with whatever. They're not going to just let them go to Joe Schmo's House of Crabs and wrestle in the parking lot for the ID title. It's just not going to happen.
I've been to a few of those shows.
Here's my thing. What if you like, I get a shot at the ID champion, right? And I decide I'm not letting the motherfucker up. I hold him down for the pin. Jonathan Cross, new ID. How would that just take the independent world by storm? That I win the ID title and I just grab it and run up and jump in my car and I leave.
I'm pretty sure it'll be like when that guy flipped the table and Joey Janela
kicked my ass.
It's probably gonna look like the O.J. Simpson chase. WWE's gonna have people calling.
Jump in the white Bronco and gone.
See, what I think will happen is they're gonna have bodyguards backstage so that stuff like that don't happen. They'll bring their own security.
Oh,
so
yeah.
But
Tony says, I think they're going to be part of the WWE Evolve shows. Yes, they are. They're going to be part of the AEW. They're going to be part of the WWE Evolve shows. But how I understand it is, they could show up at any independent and defend this title. So
the WWE ID title can be defended at AEW Dynamite.
That's not it. Well, I mean, they're running an independent program, but they're not an independent program.
They technically are. They're not drawing enough numbers on TV to add up to an actual promotion.
I'm pretty sure you stole that right out of Scotty's mouth.
Yeah.
Austin says he's saying that, let's say that I'm the ID, he's the ID champion, and Owen isn't. Oh, that idiot Owen Maverick. That's how we refer to him around here. I hate the title, and I get hurt in the match, and he wins. Does he become the? I don't think that's how it would go.
It'll end up, Austin. It'll end up in some kind of a disqualification or something where you retain the title, even though you're injured, and that way that they can still keep the belt on you and get you out of there, and then have you drop the belt the next week somewhere else, like to an actual WWE guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Owner and operator of ATCW is in the chat. Tim Simmons, he says they will be booked through WWE. Yeah, mostly. Wow, right? Big star, big star, big star.
You got his internet up.
We got that idiot Chucky Manson. We got that idiot Tony Deuce Donatelli in the chat. That's it. I'm fucking ending this thing. This is a Jonathan Cross promotion. This is not an ATCW promotion. So, anyway, he says he thinks he'll be booked through WWE. Yes, absolutely. It's going to be booked through WWE. It's not going to be. They're not going to say. They're not going to. Tim can't. I mean, maybe Tim could call him and say, or Chucky could call him and say, "Hey, we'd like your guy to come in and wrestle Vam Williams." And they're gonna go, "Who the fuck is Vam Williams?" But anyway, so
Yep.
anyway, pretty cool idea if it works out that way, where they go to the independent program. Honestly, there's a lot of there's Evolve. There's a lot of European companies. I know they're trying to get in the mix over there more and more all the time. So, but anyway, so to combat this, and I'm glad we people actually know me though. Van Williams is in the chat. My man Vam, drummer Vam. That is true, Van Williams. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Now I'm being fucking bombarded by people. So speaking of that idiot Van Williams, nah, just kidding. Chucky Manson has just released his new belt. I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
His pants fall down?
No, his pants do not fall down. It is the dork belt. You'll be able to see that here in a second, but this is the belt that Chucky is going to be defending, or going to be going after for ATCW. So this is the next belt for the WWE program.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for our pizza cutter news. We're going to do a segment here. We haven't done this segment one time, and when we did do it, I stepped all over it. So we're about to go on a journey. We're about to go on Scott Takes.
Scott Takes. Scott Takes.
That's right, Scott Takes. I can watch him dance all day long. So Scotty's got some Scott Takes. This is our version of hot takes. He is going to go through his hot takes, and we're going to bitch about them.
I was going to mention this before the show, but we're going to do this kind of like the McLaughlin group. And anybody that gets that reference, I applaud you for it.
I have no idea what that is.
When you get a chance off air, go on YouTube the McLaughlin group. They're hysterical. It's a political thing mostly, but we're going to do this wrestling wise instead of political.
Terrible.
No, so hot take here, ladies and gentlemen. WrestleMania this year. All right, WrestleMania is billed as the showcase of the Immortals. And as we get closer to the Elimination Chamber, we've already got one title match down, Jay versus Gunther. But this WrestleMania, what do you guys think? Is this WrestleMania not building up to be the same as last year? Is it not? Is it feeling less important as last year's WrestleMania? Ricky, what do you think, my good sir?
I'm not liking so far the way this card's turning out. I mean, I'm fine. I don't know. I'm fine with. I don't know. I'm on the fence because one, I feel like John Cena is going to get booked to win this chamber match. He's going to take on Cody. I don't want to see Cena break Ric Flair's record.
No.
We've already seen Gunther and Jey Uso Saturday Night Main Event. You almost see Jay's going to win this belt. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte. I'm all right with them going at it, but they're probably going to put the strap back on Charlotte because that's what they do. I I'm hearing Bianca Belair's winning this women's chamber, and they're gonna put her against Rhea. Don't really want to see that either. So I don't know. It's last year's Mania was pretty good, except for the Uso match. And what was the one? I think I got lost. I was looking for beer at the concessions. Was that the one with
The ladder match?
no, not the ladder match.
That
It
was god awful too.
Wasn't it Bebop, Rocksteady, and
Oh yeah, that was the opener. That was the opener. It was the Special Needs Judgment Day is what I call them.
yeah,
And they're all going now.
against
yeah.
the
Karrion Kross.
LWO and
Yes.
Travis Kelsey or one of the Kelseys,
Yes,
the one that was in Philly,
Yeah, the Kelsey brothers showed up
the
and
Philly Kelsey.
ripped his shirt off or some shit.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping they build it a little better, but some of these matches I'm not really excited for as much as I was for last year's.
Yeah.
Jason, what's your take?
This WrestleMania brought to you by melatonin. This WrestleMania is most likely going to be the most boring WrestleMania ever. First off, last year's WrestleMania was awesome because Ricky and I were there.
Wait. But just remember, we're going to be in Vegas, so it's going to be like 3:00 when it starts.
Out there, yes. Yeah.
So you can't fall asleep that early. We'll probably be half drunk by that time.
We didn't fall asleep last year. We froze to death. That was the difference. This is first off. It's also said in the chat. This WrestleMania is not as Ucey as it was last year. Well, we're going to find out tonight if The Rock is going to be there or not, and if they put The Rock in this WrestleMania, that is going to tell us immediately that it is. They feel like it's going to be bad. Now they've sold a shit ton of tickets. I don't know about the singles that just went on sale not too long ago, but they've sold a shit ton of tickets, and tickets have doubled in price. That's why Ricky or I are going out there. We might be able to vagabond our way into there or climb under the stadium somehow and get in, or maybe put on a Derek Carr jersey and try to get in there. But this WrestleMania is never going to live up to last year's WrestleMania. It's just not going to. I don't know what they could do. Maybe you could tell me what you think they could do, Scotty, to make this WrestleMania just as special as last year. I've always loved WrestleMania. It's always been decent. Last year was really amazing, probably because we were there. But
Jey Uso chase is not the same as the Cody Rhodes chase.
It really isn't. It really isn't. And again, you're right, Ricky. We saw this last year. We already seen this before. We've already seen the flight of the Bumblebee where he's like trying to get to the he got here, he's got stopped, he's trying to get to the championship. We already know what's going to happen. Jey Uso is winning that title. He is going to win that title, most likely. They're going to take it off of Gunther. Gunther's going to move on to something else, bigger, better, hopefully. Not this secondary championship title, by the way. The secondary championship title was Cody is the undisputed champion. That's where the title is at. But again, these matches, we just don't care. We honestly don't care about Charlotte. I don't know if I really care about John Cena. I'm hoping that story gets better. Something has got to take over this WrestleMania, and it's nothing. Last year it was bloodline. We knew what we were good. It was going to be great with the bloodline. They've been great all the way through. We don't have bloodline this year.
Not really. The only rumored thing I saw was Jacob Fatu versus Solo is a possible match, and then the other match I probably would be the match of whatever night is if they do Punk, Rollins, and Roman in a triple threat. Yeah. That's the other rumored match I'm seeing could be on the card.
Could be. So anyway,
I think they're going to take Jay out of the match.
They can't unless he gets hurt.
He's got the money in the bank. Yeah, if he gets hurt, he's got the money. He won the Rumble. He won the Rumble.
I think they're going to find a way to take him out of the match.
They could.
This is my call.
They could, but he's over like Rover, so taking him out. They need that 40. Listen, the big thing is to make 75,000 plus people doing Yeet. That's what it's about. And it will be 2 days because honestly, that is going to main event night one. It's going to main event night one. and then we're gonna get it again night 2. He's gonna come out with that title, and they're gonna do the whole thing again. Now,
I don't think he's gonna be in the title match. And if he is, I don't see him winning it. I'm
Wait,
sorry.
Steve-
Don't.
is John
Jesus
Moxley?
Dean Ambrose has entered the chat.
So, anyway,
Well,
No, I'm just
so
saying,
here,
like, they let him get this close before with the Roman shit and everything, and he didn't get it. So I don't think they're gonna let him have it.
yeah. Tony
here's
says,
what
what about
I'm.
the favor? We don't know yet. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We are like what 30 days,
60 days.
60 days away from WrestleMania. They are not showing their fucking hand yet, and I'm all about it. I'm all about it. And they don't
That's
need
the
to show
thing. They
their,
want to keep you on suspense. They want to
don't-
keep you on the edge of your seat.
they don't need to show their hand. First off, it's going to be on Peacock. You're going to be able to you're going to watch it regard. You're not going to not watch WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to not. The Miz won the world title one year. We're not going to not watch the WrestleMania. So, but they're not showing their hand yet. 60 days away. Lots of time yet. After Backlash, we're going to start getting. It's going to start building momentum. Let's hope. Otherwise,
Now, here, this is one time that I normally would. I don't normally agree with Jeremy, but this is one time I'm going to agree with him. I think what they're going to do is they're like night 1, you're not going to send the fans home completely happy. Night 2 is when you send the fans home happy. So, in my view, night 1, Jey Uso, he will stay in the title match, Jeremy. I'm going to say that. He's going to stay in the title match, but he's not winning it. I guarantee you, because they want to keep the heat on Gunther. Because here's the thing.
how can you keep burying Jey Uso at every
he's
turn?
the most over guy in that company right now.
Because he
He won
doesn't,
the Rumble,
he's
but
over with,
He's lost every fucking match. Every
but he doesn't need the title to be over. Look how over he is,
He's
and he's
already
still not
over.
won the.
That's exactly the point. There's my point. He's already over.
He is over, but you run the risk of burying the fucking guy if you keep making him lose, because eventually the fans are going to go, what the fuck? We don't even care about this guy anymore, because they're not going to do anything with it.
I mean, yes,
I
but
see both sides of the coin, but I really don't see him walking away with the belt if they let him wrestle for the
They got to
belt.
get that belt off Gunther because they're feeding Gunther to Goldberg.
That's right. They're going to feed him to Goldberg.
they better not feed him to
Saudi
Goldberg.
Arabia.
God.
Did you say you had a salty labia?
No, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, my bad.
They're gonna do it in Saudi Arabia. They ain't gonna do it here in the
Yeah,
U.S.
it'll definitely
Eating
be
the
Saudi.
Goldberg there.
Because Saudi's the only place where people actually give a shit about Goldberg.
Well, it's the only place that'll pay Goldberg money for somebody as old as Goldberg to do Goldberg shit.
All right, let's move
Everybody in
ahead.
America
That's
has
another
seen
that's another hot take. Let's move on. Scotty, what do you got?
Yeah, let's keep rolling.
All right. Issue number 2. WWE has done a lot of releases over the last several weeks, and AEW has done a few of their own. But here's an interesting question. Is Triple H any better than Tony Khan with the way he handles talent that he has no use for anymore? Jeremy, what do you think?
I don't think it's a even close argument. I think Triple H does treat the talent 10 times better than Tony Khan. Tony Khan's too busy acting like he's their friend and snorting coke and looking out for the young sluts. I mean, young bucks.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Don't sue me. I ain't got 2 pennies scraped together. You can't have.
I'm running around with that
He'll
mace.
take-
He'll
take
Yeah. I have to pawn the
They'll
belt.
take your dishwasher.
I'd have to pawn the belt. And that's just what AEW needs, more belts. But anyways, I think Triple H is a 10 times better booker, and I think he handles the talent better. I mean, he's whatever he's doing, running the company, he's doing better. I mean, the statistics don't lie, like the ratings and whatever don't lie. AEW's not drawing, and it's because Tony Khan's trying to be the one-man show behind the scenes, running everything and not letting anybody else write some better shit other than the Young Bucks. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Ricky.
Morale has been overall through the roof since Triple H has taken over.
Except for the
Or-
women.
Yeah, apparently, except for a couple of the women that don't like his booking. But ever since Vince was deuced, no pun intended, ever
That's a
since,
shitty statement, by the way.
ever since, yeah,
That's a shitty situation altogether.
ever since they gave him his pink slip to leave,
No, he
a
gave him
lot
the
of
pink. He
yeah,
gave him the pink eye to leave.
yeah, a lot of the AEW wrestlers that had formerly been with WWE under Vince has wanted to come back, thus making Tony mad and basically benching them for however long or doing nothing with them at all and till their contracts are up or they can negotiate a release to come back to WWE because under Trips, and a lot of them were former NXT guys when Trips was running it, they loved working for him.
Yeah.
Jason.
I agree with a lot of what Ricky said. I think too that everybody loves Triple H. People hated Vince. They hate Tony. If they hate you, then they're not going to like your practices, right? So when Tony lets guys sit on the bench, and the WWE does the same thing. They let guys sit on the bench all the time, and you don't hear a word out of those people for some reason until they leave. AEW is like looser lip company, which when things happen there, they can't wait to get on fucking X or get on, Instagram or whatever, or, call Hard Way Wrestling to complain. So you hear more out of AEW than you do WWE, but I don't really see too much of a difference between one and the other. I think they both do the same thing. It's just how it's handled. That's just how it's handled. The last couple releases, Carmella, we didn't hear anything out of Carmella. They just said, we're going to let your contract expire. They're not going to say we're going to pick up. We're not going to pick up another year and let you sit on the bench and ride the bench a little while longer out of spite. So I think it's just business practices, but honestly, they're one and the same to me on how they do it.
Now here's my take on it, especially after hearing Sonya Deville's.
He was surprised.
Yeah,
I didn't hear her.
she was in negotiation for another contract, and then out of the blue, she gets the call that she thinks is going to be them saying we've come to terms, we've met in the middle, and they just said, "Sorry, we're not renewing your contract."
Same thing with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was the same way. They were in the middle of negotiations, and then they called him and was like, "Hey, I hope you enjoy cooking meat because that's what you're going to be doing over the next 6 months."
Yeah. So here's my take on it. And again, in my view, yes, both companies let the Sun guys ride the bench right up until their contract expires, and then here's your future endeavors message and stuff like that. But WWE, in my view, doesn't do it out of spite. AEW, Tony Khan specifically, does. Tony, and here's my thing is, like you said, business practices, Jason. And in my view, WWE, and again, I don't know who they've got behind the scenes now working in the talent relations. I don't know who they've got a multi-billion-dollar budget thanks to freaking Netflix and the money they're getting from Netflix and just the ticket sales and all this kind of stuff going on right now. They're making money hand over fist. So it's not like they can't afford the contracts, but if Triple H is looking at a Sonya Deville, a Baron Corbin, this person, that person, and they're looking, if he's got, I don't know, 2 or 3 people. I mean, I don't think Pritchard's really working with them like all that much, but if he's got 2 or 3 guys, kind of like Vince did, and they're looking at, what the future holds for some of these people, and they're like, you know what? We just don't see a future of things to come for these people in this company. The fact that they've let them go, and again, some people, in negotiation with their contracts, some people just, you know what, we're going to let you go outright. We're not going to finish out the terms of your contract. We'll just let you go. In my view, that's not predatory business practices. That's just the nature of running the business. Tony Khan is, in my view, a predatory businessman. He is preying on these people They take a contract with him. He doesn't want them to go to the other side, so he's going to hold on to them as long as he can to make sure that the other company doesn't get as much use out of them. And in my view,
he's only done that with one guy, right? I mean, he's only really done that with one dude.
Well, I mean, I think he's done that with all of them. I think he did that again. We don't know the full status of what Miro was going through because if I heard right, they had picked up the additional year on his contract right around the time he went back to Bulgaria, because of his injury time. So they picked up the additional year. So, and I think there was something I had heard about Malachi Black having additional time added onto his contract. They're picking up an option on his contract.
No, he's gone. He's out of there.
I know he's out of there now, but I'm just saying that from what I understand, Tony Khan picked up the additional time, even though these guys were already starting to say, you know what, we don't want to be here anymore. And, and again, Ricky Starks even like holding on to him to the end of his contract. Really, at that point, that's what we thought. They were going to hold on to him to the end of his contract. They finally let him go. But again, I feel it's more predatory because, again, I'm not saying WWE doesn't do the same thing, but think about it. With WWE, you have a 90-day no-compete clause. Every contract's got that built in. Tony Khan just lets him go. Doesn't, Punk was that way. Ricky's been that way. I'm sure freaking Malachi and Miro are that way. So, you have to sit at home for 90 days, for 3 months, on your ass, not doing anything, and write out that non-compete, and then you can go work for other promotions. So the fact that, why isn't Tony Khan building that into his contracts? Why isn't Tony Khan, to me, it's a spite thing. Like, yes, he lets them go, but he was going to hold on if there wasn't some kind of a reason he let them go, like lawyers got involved or this got involved. Because I'm assuming that's ultimately what it was with Ricky. The lawyers got involved and like, you know what? We'll take this to court if we have to get his contract null and void. So Tony Khan was like, you know what? We're not dealing with that. Just let him go. And I'm sure same thing with Malachi and with Miro.
Yeah,
Again,
I feel like I don't think there was any court things there. I don't think there was any of that threatened, but I'm pretty sure that he got a lot of backlash, which probably how that ended up.
Yeah. But either one way or another, there was something that went on that made Tony fine. But again, his original intent was to hold on to these guys as long as he could to keep the other company from using them. With WWE, all they say is, you know what, we'll release you with just a 90-day no-compete clause. That's the majority of it. Because then they're free to go and compete on the indies and stuff. And a lot of people, in my view, and again, some of these people weren't major stars or weren't, they were mid-level, but they weren't again, Sonya Deville, nice lady. A lot of stuff went on with her in the WWE, both on and off screen, but she wasn't top level. She wasn't, she never held a world championship. So, but she can still go out and compete on the, high level indie circuits and do what she wants to do with wrestling if she still wants to do it. She's got TNA to go to for that matter. Who knows? Like, I don't know. I feel like Tony Khan is more predatory because he wants to do this because he wants to do it, not because it's what, WWE's old expression, what's best for business. Triple H is looking at what's best for business. Tony Khan is just looking at his own personal ego and what he gets out of it. So that's my hot take. But one other quick one.
Nope. We don't have time for another quick one because we got one more. We got to hold on to it though. Hold on to it. Wait a minute. All right. What is it? Go ahead. Give us a Scott take.
Well, very quickly. So apparently there are some women in WWE that are not happy with how Triple H is running the women's division. And my question is the women's division poorly booked? Is Triple H not booking the women's division correctly? Ricky, what do you think?
I'd say with the mid-card titles right now, it's kind of been a shit show. I mean, we've just seen Meechin and Chelsea Green going at it since the inception of that U.S. title. And then on the Raw side, it's just been pretty much Lyra Valkyria, and now we're getting Dakota Kai again. They've got a loaded women's roster, a lot of talent, and they're not really doing much with a lot of it. The tag division is been garbage. They put those belts on Jade, Bianca, and now they're on Bianca and Naomi, and they're two I really don't care too much to see, especially Naomi. She's terrible. Really, I mean, for the longest while, the only thing worth watching was what was going on with Liv and Rhea, and now that's run its course. So,
Jeremy.
They need to take the women's division back several notches and only have 1 or 2 matches a show and make it feel special again. That way people will start liking it and watching it. It's overdone. It's watered down. Take it back a couple notches. My take.
Jason?
I think that we see FTWs in the house. I see that I feel like looking at NXT's women's division, Shawn Michaels does a really good job of booking down there, and there's a real big focus on the women's division, which when you get to the main roster, they are still pushing your Charlotte Flairs, your Becky Lynch's, your Nia Jax, your heavy, sorry, Nia, your bigger, your bigger players. And I get that they've earned that right. They've earned that respect. And I understand that. Which makes it harder for these newer people like your Lyra Valkyria, who we've seen defend the title how many times? Maybe once, maybe twice. And she's getting ready to, she either just faced or she's getting ready to face Dakota Kai again. We're getting ready to see that again, or we already saw it again, one or the other. Have you seen anything out of Chelsea Green with this new title? Even the new titles were supposed to be like the big focus on that mid card, and they're still with
they've done nothing with
right.
it.
They've done nothing. It's the same people. So again, because of the heavier players or the big time stars, it's harder to focus on the younger talent coming in. Your Lyra Valkyrias, and that type of I actually worry about what's her name coming in from NXT, Roxanne Perez. Like, she's great, but is she going to wither under Bailey, right? Most likely, because those guys, those top talents are not done yet. So there's so many top talents at the higher level that they have to send them down to NXT to work with the younger talent to help get those younger talent, build them up. There's a lot of good girls coming up from your Saul Rukas and the Caucasian Nia Jax down there. There's this on. Think about it.
Nikita Lyons.
Nikita Lyons. I love Nikita Lyons. But if you would put her and Nia Jax side by side, dead ringers. Anyway, I believe that Nia Jax is not as good of a wrestler. But anyway, you know what I mean. They there's a lot of good talent coming up, and
Jordan Grace,
which is
supposed to be just temporary in NXT.
I don't know that it's going to be. I think the best thing for her is to stay down in NXT with Julia or Jillian and Stephanie Valkyrie. Like those, that is the future, the new horsewomen or the new future of NXT women. And I believe that's where she should stay. Otherwise, when she comes up, she's going to make an impact. But it's not going to be a big impact, because if they put her in a match with Charlotte Flair, Charlotte's not losing. She's not going to lose. Like, I worry about Tiffany Stratton right now. I don't agree.
So do I.
I feel like Charlotte should lose that match, but will she? We don't.
Nope. Charlotte's taking that belt. Charlotte is going to be the one to beat Flair's record, not John.
I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible. So, good job, Scotty. Good job on those Scott takes. Last thing before we get out of here, we have Ricky Saints. Speaking of NXT, Ricky Saints shows up 2 weeks ago. during the pay-per-view, comes out, talks some shit in the crowd. They didn't even give him a name yet. They said, "Hey, you." But now he has signed a contract. He is Ricky Saint. He's from New Orleans, so that's why he took the Saint. Do you think he should have took the Saint name, or do you think he should have just kept Ricky Starks? Why wouldn't he just keep Ricky Starks?
I'm wondering if it was like something to do with the name, like if he was allowed to.
Wasn't he Ricky Starks in NWA?
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
if
remember.
his real name is Richard Starks.
But he may have signed something with AEW to where they like Jazzware, the company that makes their toys, had like the licensing to the toy, and WWE probably couldn't get it back or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm
I
just
don't know.
guessing.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me because the Hardys were in NXT or were in AEW. They still have their naming rights.
The Hardys
But
are
him
on
being,
NXT next
him
week.
being a young talent, not knowing no better,
Yeah.
he might have signed something he shouldn't have.
Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, Ricky Stark shows up. I think that's awesome for Ricky. He's finally going to get. It's put up or shut up time, right?
Yeah.
It's put up or shut up time, and we know how good Ricky Starks is on the mic. I can't. I don't. I think we start. Did we see it? We saw it with Adam Copeland, and I think it was to the point where Adam Copeland was frustrated, and it wasn't a good promo because Copeland started calling him the knockoff Rock or whatever. But do we get a CM Punk, Ricky Saints promo battle? Love to see it. So Ricky Saints is now in NXT. Looks like his first program is going to be with
Wesley.
and then looks like he's going to move on to skinny Ethan Page. So are we looking at the next Forbidden Door here for NXT and TNA? We saw Moose showed up. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Moose in person. He's a big guy.
He's
a monster.
huge.
Monster. Did you see what he looked like standing next to Obafemi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just he looks like standing next to me. I feel like fucking me.
Well, you're a 5'9" Caucasian dude. These are
I'm
two.
not even 5'9".
Look at you putting your shoes on. Look at you putting your shoes on. But anyway, Moose is a big guy standing next to Obafemi. Wow, I mean, huge difference. Last night on TNA, Obafemi shows up, so we're gonna get an Obafemi.
Femi showed up. Cora Jade showed up.
Jade
showed up.
We are gonna get some big stuff. Now, my question is, do we add TNA into the mix for the predictions challenge? We're gonna get a Hardys. We're gonna get a Hardy.
We have to now because it's integrated with NXT.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm gonna put it out to the group and see what everybody else thinks.
And soon these TNA guys need to come up to the main roster.
Well, that's what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're gonna go to the main roster. I don't think that's a thing because they got enough going on the main roster that they don't need to integrate.
Did you hear Joe Hendry's song?
With John Cena?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he did a song last night. It was pretty good.
So,
oh God,
look at you watching TNA. So
I didn't watch it. I just saw clips of it.
But it's
I wish I could watch it.
Where's
it even at? Where can you watch it at?
YouTube. Just type it on YouTube. You find it.
Oh, okay.
I can't put it up on Hardway because we're already in enough trouble. So anyway, go check that out. Watch TNA. We might have to add it in. TNA is going to start getting good. We're going to get. Are we finally going to get the Hardys take the titles off of Fraxium?
I think so. I think the Hardys might take the titles.
They're not.
Why not? They've never been NXT tag champions.
They want to run. You want to break the next level? Have that happen. Have Femi take that X Division title, right? Or vice versa. I'd love to see
because it's gonna make a pop for both companies, regardless of where they come from. It's gonna be big for both.
Yeah, Access is live, not in every area, but live on Thursdays.
Okay. Did you guys see where WWE or TKO, the company that owns WWE, is trying to purchase Lucha Underground and possibly bring it back?
God, I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope not.
I love Lucha Underground, but they got involved. I think they're working with all these companies to try to smother out AEW.
We have Lucha Underground. It's just above ground. It's called AEW.
That's LWO too.
Anyway, that's going to do it here for Heart Rate Wrestling. Scotty, great job. Ricky, great job. Well, T-Bone, you know. Anyway, great job, T-Bone.
Love you too.
Just give you our time, T-Bone. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back next week. Well, no weekend, no PLE this weekend. You guys got the weekend off, but then the following weekend, March 1st, we have Elimination Chamber. And then we're going to get right into some other pay-per-views here. So we're going to have plenty to talk about next week. T-Bone, what do you got going on?
I got In the Doghouse tomorrow night, 8 p.m. with one half of the Shooter Society, the Lion-Hearted Chase Bennett. Don't miss it.
I love it. The Lionhearted. Definitely going to be sued by Chris Jericho at some point. By using that
Just
name.
made the list.
He just made the list. He's under the learning tree. So anyway, thank you, boys, and we'll see you guys next time.
On the hard way.
Peace.
I don't have the clicky thing.